Hello. A lot of other intuitives saw a big event happening at the Super Bowl, right? Like something with destruction, maybe even unaliving, like big scary things. I never saw any of those things, and I want to address that because I think we were both right, right? Okay. I see energy and I see multiple timelines. That's my gift. I have the gift of precog, and when you have the gift of precog, which everybody can develop this, by the way, just take some time, right? And a lot of shadow clearing, things like that, so you can separate from ego. With this gift of precog, I don't see just where we're headed, right? Okay, let me back up. It's hard to explain this like stuff that lives up here and bring it down into language. It's just like so constricting, so squished. So the way that I see time and timelines and timeline possibilities is like, it's like a matrix. It's like a grid almost, except each point of the grid I see as a stepping stone, right? And this is just the way that I visualize what I'm seeing, how I'm making sense of what I'm seeing. So other people might see the same thing, but in a different way. Totally fine, right? So I see this like infinite stepping stones in front of me for all directions, but then I also see this like energetic line. I don't know how to explain it other than it's like this really thin, almost like neon, electrified, very energetic. It's like pure energy. It's just a line and it's going like this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, right? And I can follow the line to where we are going. Now, it's more common for people to see the stepping stone right in front of them because usually we're looking ahead, right? Normal. That's normal. But because I read energy and I can see all these possibilities, like I can branch out as far as I want to, I can see straight ahead and side to side. So I can tell where we are going while most people see where we are headed. Does that make sense? Like you are headed in this direction. You could be going over here, right? But first you have to head this direction because most roads are not straight, right? And life paths are not straight. I mean, hello, uniloom. Let's see if I can find it right here. Right here. There's my uniloom, right? Life paths are not straight. They are all over the place. They are squiggly. They are messy. They are timey-wimey. They are soupy. They're all over the place, but you always get here. So while somebody could be going this way on the path and then it takes this like loop right here, somebody else could say, oh, we're going toward this dot because that's the direction we're headed when we're right here, right? We're right here, and so we're going here to this dot. But because I can see other timelines, and other people with precog too can see other timelines, possibilities, we can see how time bends, it's like a whole thing. I can see that we're headed here, but we're not going there because we're about ready to loop around and go back this way, right? So I think all the intuitives are right who are tapped into information. Now, you always have to use your own intuition, like always. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you think I'm insane, then don't listen to me because it doesn't resonate with you, and that's absolutely fine, right? So take what resonates, leave the rest, always with just literally everybody on the planet for all scenarios. That's the healthiest, highest vibrational thing you can do for yourself. Because your intuition is going to speak your truth more than anybody else's intuition. Always, always, always. Now, you are going to feel that spark when somebody says something that your intuition is also picking up on, right? You will feel connected, you'll feel aligned, you'll feel drawn to it, etc. But that won't happen with everybody because we're not meant to be in alignment with everybody on this planet, right? Because we're all doing different journeys, and that's really beautiful, and we're all going in different directions. That's the point of what we're doing. So let me back up a little bit. Remember, source energy, this is how we started. We are, but I'm going to talk in linear time for a second. We were source energy, a big ball, literally a ball of just light, okay? And then we go, I want to experience all the things from all the perspectives. And then we go, and we split into infinite parts called souls, right? Now we are the souls, right? Except Sam herself is not a soul. Sam is about 1% to 2% of what my soul is. So of the souls split off into their own balls of light energy. And in those balls of light energy, when we choose to incarnate, like I incarnated in this life as Sam, obviously, because hello. And then we took 1% to 2% of our energy and we concentrated it down right into the middle of our soul sphere, essentially, right? And then that little incarnation dot is who you all and myself knows as Sam, okay? So I like to say that source energy is like the ocean. The individual souls are like individual drops of water from the ocean, and that little concentrated dot that exists is like a microbe that's inside of that drop of water, all right? So I really think that everybody's right, and I really think that everybody's picking up on stuff. Now, of course, there's going to be some outliers. This is not like the majority, but of course, there's going to be some outliers who are just copying what other people are saying. This is where your intuition comes in. It's the most important part of your toolkit is your intuition, and it will always be, right? But even those people who are not tapped in and who are just copying off of other people, even if they're copying off of other people, you'll still feel like an intuitive hit or not. And you'll go, okay, yeah, that resonates with me or it doesn't. And if it doesn't resonate with you, just scroll on. It's not part of your reality. It's totally fine, right? And if it does resonate with you, then tap in and say, what parts of this resonate? Because maybe not the whole thing, but maybe some of it, maybe the whole thing, maybe more than what they're saying, right? Use your own freaking intuition. So I really think we are both right. Because again, I never saw that. I could see the potentials and the possibilities for sure, but it never existed for the trajectory of the current timeline that I'm on, if that makes sense. Timelines are very soupy, right? They kind of move a lot. Now we have our collective timelines and we have our individual timelines. Oh, I'm getting a little third eye headache right here. Oh, I love this so much. Our collective timelines are all of the individual timelines that are similar enough in which we can come to an agreement and say we're having a similar experience. We can have the similar experience together. Okay, so collective timelines is like a big cable that has all the little wires inside, and the big cable is surrounding energy experiences that are similar enough in which we can make it feel as if we are experiencing the same thing. Because here's the deal, we're never actually experiencing the same thing, and we're actually always in our own complete and separate timeline. We are just viewing other timelines with our eyeballs, with our third eye, right? We are inside of our own soul. Like, that's where we're literally physically existing, inside of our own soul, and boop, the little dot in the middle, and then there's a soul over here and a soul over here and a soul over here, and each of those have a little dot in the middle, right? Experiencing their own energy in their own world. Now, with that golden thread, right? How consciousness is all like intertwined. So entanglement theory, that energy that is similar enough, that is alike enough, will have similar experiences. That's where you get 3D, that's where you get 5D, and etc., right? So I really think those people were picking up on events that happened in adjacent timelines, but not in the direction in which we were actually going, just the direction in which we were headed. Think of like your car driving down a road and you see a turn up here, you're headed this way, but you're going this way. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's so hard to explain this stuff and to bring it down into like human words because none of this is human. So let me know what you think. Ask your questions. I'll answer as many of them as I can. Oh, and one more thing. We don't ever actually change the world that we're in, right? It's never the world that we're in that changes. So you can have these like things that you do to change your environment, but you don't actually change your environment. What you do is you shift to another reality, if that makes sense. It's really hard to explain sometimes, but you don't, like, let's say that you send out love and light because you want the world to be kinder and nicer, right? Like we did with the global guided meditation on Sunday. And by the way, the recording is up on both TikTok and YouTube for that. Instagram won't let me upload something that's that long, so you have to go to TikTok or YouTube to be able to do the replay and do it on your own. But when we do that and we say, okay, we want our world to change, we're not changing our world, we're changing ourselves, which changes our base vibration. And then when we change ourselves, we are then kind of magnetized to the timeline that fits that new vibration better. So you're not changing the world, you are changing yourself, and you are matching yourself into a world in which that already exists. So I probably broke a bunch of brains. That's okay. If you want to understand more 3D, 5D, go watch my playlist, both on YouTube and right here on TikTok. The 3D, 5D playlist is what it's called. There's also a link in the bio for a 3D, 5D playlist for the YouTube version if you'd rather watch that. I've heard it's a lot easier to watch on there. So it's a lot of things. It's very quant to me. It's very soupy, but still ask your questions and I will do my best to answer. But I promise if you watch that 3D, 5D playlist, it helps a lot, a lot.